Hello everyone, this is Husker Eurocat welcoming you to Madden 20 for the PC and season number 3 of the New York Jets franchise. I thought I'd take a few minutes and introduce the continuation of my Jets franchise that I had in Madden 19 into Madden 20. We left off season 2 with New York making it to the playoffs as the number 1 seed, only to fall to the Indianapolis Colts in the divisional round. Some significant changes have been made with the release of Madden 20, with gameplay being a huge factor. I finally got the network mods in place, and with the addition of Sabo's Revival mod, it just makes for a much improved experience. By the way, if anyone is curious, I'm using Sabo's Revival version 1.2, which I believe is the latest version available. With the new season has come many changes. I had to modify some existing players to get some of the rookies in the game that I had in Madden 19, but they were, quite frankly, some undrafted rookies that I didn't see anyone putting even on their practice squad. So it made me feel just a little bit better about using them as placeholders. In order to expedite season number 3 a little, I simmed season 2 with those rookies as part of the Jets, so they are now 1-year vets in season number 3, or the 2020 season. There are some big changes from a season ago, so let's get to the roster to see who's been put in place for the 2020 campaign. Of course, we have returning starting quarterback Sam Darnold, now in his junior season. I might add that he went through the preseason without a single interception, which is a shock. But we need to see if that success continues into the regular season. Former 49er Nick Mullins has been added as his backup and seems to be a far cry better than Davis Webb, who was let go. Le'Veon Bell, who spent part of the 2019 campaign on the IR list, hopes to be back to full speed this season, backed up by veteran Corey Grant, fourth-year man Elijah McGuire, and finally Trenton Cannon as the fourth-string halfback. The fullback spot has been filled by converted tight end Travion Wesco. He's now in his second year with the Jets and seems to be a really good fit at that position, so we'll find out through the season. You'll notice something missing from the list of receivers. So let's talk about the departure of Robbie Anderson from the receiving corps. I gave him what I thought was a more than fair offer, and he opted for the free agency. He is now an Indianapolis Colt, playing behind T.Y. Hilton. He also lost out on money, which was the reason that he left in the first place, because I was prepared to give him, I think it was around $32 million over 4 years to stay in New York, and he only got a little over 28, almost 29, I guess, from the Colts. I wish him all the happiness because he'll be there for the next 4 years. Meanwhile, back in New York, Jamison Crowder is now taking over the number 1 spot with Quincy Enunwa on the other side of the field, and former Dolphin return specialist Jakeem Grant as the new slot receiver. There are a few young talented receivers on the roster, and the hope is to develop them as the next stars. Next are the tight ends, with Christopher Herndon IV taking over that department, and we have a toss-up between Richard Rodgers and Jason Kroom. Experience is on the side of Rodgers, while youth and a little more speed is on the side of Kroom, so they may get a good tandem there in the second tight end spot. Now comes probably the biggest change in the roster, and that's the O-line. Admittedly, we needed help, and with a draft class that was very heavy with O-line talent, we seem to have made out quite nicely, thank you. First, with last year's rookie that I had to modify for Madden 20, that is left tackle Jack Willig. Backing him up is one of the draftees, Michael Winkler, that has a hidden development trait, so at least he should be a star or better. Next is one of the veteran stars here on the offensive line. At left guard is the 8-year talent Kelechi Osemele, who is also turning out to be a great mentor as well. He's backed up by Michael Winkler again, but also in the third string spot is 4th-year left guard Ethan Posick. At center, we have first-round pick left tackle being used in the center position, Joey Sanders. And you'll find that a lot of this draft class was devoted to the offensive line. Thus, a left tackle is being utilized in the center position. Of course, he has plenty of veteran backup in Connor McGovern and Jonathan Harrison. At left guard, we have the other rookie from last season's class that I had to modify for Madden 20, and that is Kason Shropshire. He's being backed up by none other than our 5th-round rookie, Michael Winkler, again. And finally, the right tackle position and our last veteran on the O-line, right tackle Brian Winters. He's followed up by another rookie that has hidden development, Jeremy Irons. If these rookies pan out, this could work out nicely, since Winters and Osemele are getting to an age when regression is bound to start taking its toll. And now we get to the part of the roster that hopefully will last another season without some real work. Some good acquisitions have been applied to this team, but there are some holes that need to be plugged as well. First, at left end, we have Captain Leonard Williams. This side of the defensive line seems to be pretty solid at the moment, with 3rd-year man Nathan Shepard as backup. With both of those players near or under the peak of their careers, that may be solid for a few years if we play this right. On the other side, at right end, is where some help will need to be in next year's draft, though. Henry Anderson is a good right end, but not great, and he's also 29 years of age. His backup Morgan Fox could be really good, but needs to be groomed and fast, so he's really good in a couple of years. Then again, like I said, there is next year's draft for that spot. The defensive tackle spot needs some solid backup because the Jets have a star in Quinnen Williams, but Mike Purcell is a little on the weak side for backup. That's another position that needs help coming this next offseason, so this season should prove challenging in the middle of the line, especially if one of the Williams boys goes down. In the middle of the field are our linebackers, and we're real solid at the middle linebacker spot for prompting the only responsible defense of a 3-4 this season. Mosley and Williamson are 2 of the best in the business, but on the outside, both right and left are the weak spots. Jordan Jenkins has 4 years under his belt and is a solid backup player, but on the other side is last year's 3rd-round draft selection, Ja'Kai Polite, and with some mentoring, he could be really good in a season or 2. He was drafted as a defensive end, but seems to be doing better at the linebacker position. Are either one there right now? Well, I would have to say no. But this season will be telling, that's for sure. We have a young backup in the middle with Blake Cashman out of Minnesota, and if he can be developed fast, it's possible that he could be moved to the outside. But then again, it's harder to find someone that can play inside So if he progresses, well, maybe he needs to stay there. Time will tell, I guess. But lastly, we have the defensive backs, and as long as the Jets keep Jamal Adams happy, and that might be difficult as his contract is coming up, he, along with Marcus May, will be able to handle the safety spots nicely. As for the cornerbacks, starters Brian Poole and the aging Tremaine Johnson are holding down that position, but they need some young talent to be grafted into the fold. Perry Nickerson could be one of those talents, but Blesson Austin may be a little low on talent to make that leap to star status. A solid backup could be his level of talent, but there again, time will tell. To round out our roster, we have two pretty young talents that have been signed in the kicking game. Eddie Pinedo out of Florida will handle the kicking duties, and punting is left to Marshall grad via Norway, Corey Vedvik. That will do it for the Jets 2020 roster. They went 2-2 in preseason ball and hope to repeat last year's 12-4 performance during the regular season. A lot of things went well for the Jets last year. Sam Darnold passed for a ton of yards, but couldn't keep from throwing a ton of interceptions as well. Could that change with a stronger O-line this season to protect him? They'll play both the AFC and NFC West this season, along with games against the Browns and Jaguars, along with their normal divisional games. The season starts out at home against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills can't be happy with how things went last season with a sweep by the Jets, so this could be tough. They have acquired Tyreek Hill from free agency in the offseason, so I would expect that throwing deep could be an option. Question is, will Josh Allen be accurate enough to get the ball to him consistently? We know that he has the arm strength, but accuracy may be another issue. They also have a couple of Alabama grads in Derrick Henry and TJ Yeldon, with a little CJ Anderson splashed in there for good measure. This could be a challenging first game of the season. That will bring an end to another episode of the New York Jets franchise here on the Football Freaks Sports Network. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and remember to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications of new videos as they come out. Are the Jets ready for divisional play for the first game of the season? The Bills are coming, so watch out for the Stampede. Be with me for the start of season number 3, and until then, this is Husker Eurocat saying so long for now, and have a good day, everyone.